Hey guys, welcome back to this channel. If you are new, then welcome to this channel. Well, today I'm gonna give you some highlights about Python numbers. Basically, Python supports int, float, and complex numbers, as we can see here. Integers are 0, positive or negative whole numbers without a fractional part and having unlimited precision. For example, you can take 0, 100, -10 as integers, as you guys know. Right? It can be positive, it can be negative, it can be 0 as well. So integer considers these numbers. A float number is a number that is represented in decimals. Like for example, if you see a number which is 0.5, that's actually a float which is having a decimal. 100.2, that's also a decimal number. So those kind of numbers comes under float. A complex number is expressed as a sum of a real part and an imaginary part. As you guys know, when it comes to math, a complex number is a number which is actually a mixture of real number and some imaginary number that we don't know exactly the value of that particular number. For example, if you see here 5 plus 3j, 5 is actually a real number, but 3j is not actually a real number. That's something which is complex. So these kind of numbers comes under complex. So the good thing is that we can also convert these numbers into another type whenever we require them. Like for example, if you want to convert int number to float, like 5 to 5.0, you can just convert by using float of this number. If you just say float of 8 to the interpreter, then it's gonna convert integer 5 to 5.0. But here, the thing is, we must know the difference between type function and isInstance function. If we want to know the type of the number, then for that, we can use this type function which returns the type of the number. For example, if a equal to 5, let me do it for you guys. For example, if a equal to 5, print type of a, it's gonna return the type. This actually belongs to integer, right? So it's gonna return us type int. If you run this one, yeah, class int. This number actually belongs to the class int. So in this way, this type exactly works. If you want to know type of the input that user is giving, then at the time you can just check whether the type is right or not. For example, whether the type is integer or not, then at the time you can use this type function. But here we also have isInstance function. If we want to know the type of the number, then for that we can use type. Right? If we want to check whether the number belongs to a specific type, we can use an isInstance. Okay. For example, if you want to check whether this number is actually belonging to integer or not, you can just use isInstance of a. Then the output will be yes. Okay. IsInstance of int. Okay. For example, let's try this one. Here we have c equal to 5 plus 3j, which is a complex number that we know. Let's check. Print. But I'm not giving complex. Instead, I'm actually giving integer to check. What do you guys think the output will be? Any guesses? Well, the output will be false. If you run this one. See, the output is false because the number is actually complex number and we are checking whether the number is belonging to integer or not. So in that case, it's gonna return false. If you give complex here, it's gonna return true. True. Alright. So there is a little difference between this type and this isInstance. Okay, don't get confused guys. Type is actually checking the type of the number that user gave or that we are using. I hope you understood the type. But isInstance is checking whether that particular number, whether that specific number is belonging to a particular class or not. Like for example, isInstance is checking whether C belongs to complex or not, whether C belongs to integer or not. Okay, whether C belongs to float or not. This is the only difference between type and isInstance. Okay, type is actually showing us to which type or class the number actually belonging to. isInstance is just giving us a confirmation whether the number belongs to a specific class or not. That's the only difference. I hope you understood the difference between type and complex. If you want to know more about numbers, then the link will be in the description. Tap there to learn more about Python numbers. I'll be back with one more useful tip about Python. See you in the next video.